This is Routine, one of the most impressive indie horror games in development right now. Over the past 11 years, it's gone from a retro sci-fi horror project to an intensely immersive mission to explore this abandoned facility where something hunts you down. You heard that right, by the way. This is also an indie game being made by a team of like 4 people. Anxious and tactile sound design combined with such detailed visuals, it's kind of hard to believe that few people are talking about it right now, until you remember that this trailer, which is some of the latest news about the game, is over a year old at this point. I wanted to make this video to document the lost history of this game's development and collect everything I could find about what's going on with it today. Routine's website and Steam page currently describe it as an exploration-focused sci-fi horror title that sees the player immersed in an abandoned base on the moon. Since the game's development started around 2012, the core team at Lunar Software has consisted of the same 4 people. Aaron and Gemma are the visual artists, Peter is the programmer, and the audio design is done by Mick Gordon, who you might recognize actually. The game received a lot of coverage following its reveal trailer at Gamescom 2012, and was one of the first games ever to be voted onto Steam Greenlight. After such a positive reception, the team got straight to work, and 6 months later, Aaron posted an update to their website that sets the tone for the game's development in the years to come. He makes it clear that they're being careful with what they show in trailers to avoid spoiling too much of the experience, and he also mentions that they won't be able to meet a theoretical release window in April 2013 because of their newly expanded aspirations for the project. Later that year, the longest trailer of Routine to date came out, showcasing more immensely detailed environments alongside one of the game's most exciting features. Instead of a traditional video game user interface with a health bar and other stuff that's on the screen all the time, Routine's UI was integrated seamlessly into the world. You could access codes, open doors, and read logs without a single pop-up menu, making the experience so much more immersive and unnerving. The game was also said to have roguelike elements in multiple interviews done around this time, including randomized pickups and upgrades for your scanner gun thing, which is called the Cosmonaut Assistance Tool, by the way, as well as permadeath, where dying will reset your progress not to a save point, but to the very beginning of the game. These all increased Routine's replayability significantly, and the notion that players would be spending hours in this huge, carefully crafted lunar base discovering secrets and things they'd never even seen before built a mountain of hype for this game to come out. That trailer came out in June 2013. The team had already said that they wanted to avoid spoilers and that producing trailers did take a lot of time away from actually developing the game, so for the next few years, updates came in the form of now archived text posts on the Lunar Software website. During this time, general progress updates came roughly every 6 months, each answering a few of the most commonly asked questions about the game. The most notable pieces of information from these updates are that they didn't want to set a definite release date after missing the previous 2013 one, as well as the fact that they had been testing the game in virtual reality, but unfortunately they got too motion sick from the hardware at the time to officially support it. In February 2014, they had made huge progress in almost all areas. There was still a good amount of work to be done. August 2014, they'd been making a lot of progress in all areas of development, particularly sound design. March 2015, they'd replaced a good portion of the placeholder work in the game, and it was feeling more and more complete. December 2015, they were polishing the details and promised a bigger social media presence closer to release. And then, on October 31st of 2016, the developers posted a message apologizing for the wait, saying they wanted to make sure that with their next update, they could show something substantial. And at the end of March 2017, the last update appeared on Lunar Software's website for quite a while, which said that although the team was satisfied with most aspects of Routine, one of the 2 ways players could progress through the game, which corresponded to one of the 2 endings, was just not as strong as the other, so much so that they felt it would hurt the experience of playing the game overall. In their words, "We only get to release Routine once, and we want to make sure we do it right."
Well, next up, keeping up with the space theme, it's time to world premiere a very exciting new game, which will feature a musical score by industry legend Mick Gordon. This one is going to grab you, and we are so honored to debut it.
This moment was so cool. I've watched this trailer probably like 30 plus times. There were several big reveals for Routine the day this came out. First of all, the same team at Lunar Software was still working on the game, but now they were backed by game publisher Raw Fury, who would be able to contribute much needed funding and development experience to ensure that the game does eventually come out when it's ready. The Lunar Software website was also completely reworked, now featuring new screenshots from the trailer, along with a message from the team about the past 5 years. Essentially, they had gotten to a point after 5 years of development where the game was close to finished, but with some fundamental issues that weren't easy to fix, and they were stuck between either releasing a final product that they really weren't happy with or delaying the game indefinitely due to the financial stress that it was causing them. So the game stayed on the back burner for a while until they got into contact with Raw Fury and were able to restart production. And they literally did restart. If you watch the old trailers on Lunar Software's YouTube channel, you'll see a note that says the footage is outdated because they've rebooted the game. Routine was originally developed in a game engine called Unreal Engine 3, and while a newer and better version of it came out while the game was still in development, transferring a project from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4 is impossible, actually, because the new version is so much of an upgrade that it's completely incompatible with the older version. In short, the only things that they would be able to carry over from UE3 to UE4 are game assets like art and sounds, so all of the coding and implementation and literally everything else would have to be redone from the ground up. But after working on their first project together as a team, laboring over it for 5 years only to realize that it's full of little things that hurt the experience, and given a break for a little while, I think starting fresh with all of their game assets, plans, and experience still intact probably sounded like a great option for Routine's future. So the game's production was restarted at some point between 2017 and 2022, with the team overall approaching development with 5 more years worth of experience and the support of a publisher behind them. Plus, it's coming to Xbox now, which is something they previously said couldn't happen. After June 9th of 2022, updates have been slim, but understandably so. After such a big re-reveal, the team is probably putting as much of their effort as possible into development, rather than taking time away to work on more trailers. Actually, there was one more brief trailer about a year ago on the accompanying Steam post in a similar style to their older updates. This just said that they had upgraded from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, which is thankfully a much easier process than going from 3 to 4, as well as that Raw Fury was indeed contributing to the game's development alongside them. And that's the most recent news post on Routine, aside from a Steam discussion thread comment confirming that the game is still in production. So when will the game come out? We don't know for sure. I personally would say like sometime next year or maybe the year after, since they've likely been working on this reboot for anywhere from 2 to 5 years now. I think it's clear that this is a passion project with devs that really care about the quality of the game first and foremost, so it will be out when it's ready. As for why it's taking so long, if they were almost ready to release in 2017, that's because, again, they're remaking it from the ground up, so it can go from looking like this to looking like